So let us get to it. Now, usually for the channel, I try to provide unique content, but it is what it is, that it's out there now. So Sarah has now officially spoken about why Buffy is not moving forward at this time. Basically, there was one male executive who was simply not a fan of the show, bragged about not being a fan of the show, and had severe doubts. And they were pushing, and basically the guy said, yeah, I don't think this is going to work. So they were kind of stuck. And they just didn't have a lot of enthusiasm for the project and said, yeah, we're not going to go forward. And now there's been a leak about the pilot and the plot and the script. Again, we don't know for sure this is the official script, so we'll have to wait a while to see if it's verified. I've read only a big part of it, and it wasn't that good. It wasn't that bad, but it feels like Scream 7 all over again. Like, okay, you pump this out pretty quick. It's pretty rough. It needs a lot of improvement. We'll say that much. How much improvement? Well, if you did like Buffy seasons 1 to 7, forget about those. Because the rumors apparently are true that they just rebuilt Sunnydale over the old Sunnydale, even though the show was pretty definitive that you can't do that because it's all gone. Like, it's all gone. So, for whatever reason, California wanted Sunnydale, a small town, back for reasons. And the plot was pretty lame and silly, that there's going to be a vampire weekend because, I guess, vampires have been so gonified that the Slayers or Buffy killed so many of them that they're basically all gone. They've now been diminished to such a small degree that there's only a handful left. But apparently they're back. They're going to come back. So let me just rant about the world building for about a few seconds, because, well, if this is true, if there's just a few, what's the point of calling it Vampire Slayer? Like, you got none to slay. Even if the population now is radically diminished to, a small degree, you say, okay, that's a threat, but not really, because we got Willow. She's so powerful. She has godlike abilities. She could just get rid of the last couple of vampires with a couple spells. So I don't know. That's just weird. And then we have Angel, the Angel canon. We have tons of vampires all over LA, but barely Buffy got rid of those too. So yeah, the story makes no sense at all, really. But okay, but at least it was promising. It is rehashing a lot of the episode 1 of the real Buffy season 1. That's fine. But that's what Sarah's saying. She's giving out more information. And she's saying it's fairly shocking. And apparently even other people at Searchlight, which were behind this, are like, we're not doing it? No, I guess we're not doing it. And there we go. And she was very specific that HULU is not doing it. And HULU has gained a pretty good reputation because of Predator, because of Hellraiser. They put out some good stuff. So it's head-scratching that they're doing so many good things, but Buffy, no. Now, again, I want to be clear. This version of Buffy with Sarah, this version of Buffy with the new Slayer, they're not moving forward. That doesn't mean no new Buffy. That's wrong. Sarah made very clear that no, they're still interested. There's still a buzz. And Disney wants to do something. But this is where we are. And it's definitely ironic that the Firefly crew, the other part of the Whedonverse, are saying they're going to try to come back as an animated series. So that's where we are. So where am I? Well, there were aspects that were very exciting. I don't know why Sarah calls this a continuation. Her thing's not a reboot. It's clearly a reboot. You cannot deny this is a reboot. So I don't know why she was trying to confuse people with that. Or maybe just in her brain, it's like, no, this is like season 8, I guess. Kinda? I guess. I don't know. But to her own point of view, it was really good. The scripts were good. The dialogue was flowing. But again, it would definitely not be Buffy seasons 1 to 7. It would be new people. There might be some old people coming back, but Nicholas Brendon went live, literally, and said, no, I'm not going to be a part of it. Sarah said, no, you're not going to be a part of this. So it would not really be classic Buffy. It would be a new kind of Buffy. So where are we? I guess the thing is, to my eyes, the way, which is not difficult, is do a new Buffy, obviously recasting main Buffy, and just have this as an alternate universe. So you can still have Sarah, and you can even have like a lot of this story in pilot and just rework it. And this is, by the way, if you know Buffy, I'm not going to spoil it, but Buffy does this all the time. We have alternate realities. They bleed into the main reality. So it's not hard to see. We're gonna see the pilot, and we're gonna see Sarah as Buffy. Just calm down. I guess the question is, should we have Sarah be Buffy again? Also, should they try to tie it to the older universe? In principle, it's a good idea, but you can just see a lot of problems. It seems like they just have to do something internal to the universe to revise the canon to continue the story. And it just seems you can't get out of that. But that said, the way they were just going seemed a little lazy, just saying, oh, it's Sunnydale, we're back. Why? I mean, even bringing back Sunnydale itself is not a bad thing, but they're just coming back. There's no explanation. It's just like, yeah, it's just back. Buffy succeeded, and she succeeded to such a degree. She's a mythic figure, so she's almost at a god level. Like, people think she doesn't even exist, saying, was there a Buffy? But we see her in the behind the scenes with a dress, so she has a new name? She kept Buffy first name and just has a last name that's not Summers? Like her identity was out there, right, from season 3. So it's very confusing, very confusing. So I'm a little heartbroken, but again, I'm not totally heartbroken because, guys, we're going to get Buffy. They want to make money, so calm down. So it's good for me. I have time to prepare the Buffy videos more. But, yeah, I don't know. And we're probably going to get more on the pilots, more on the other scripts, more on where they were going. But I'm dreading that season 1 would be kind of lame because it seems like they're obsessed with twists from the script. So they're like, oh, we're going to have a super double quadruple twist. Okay. But so where we are now is Sarah still wants to do it. Buffy's still viable. But it just seems like there's no way to continue. And believe me, it's heartbreaking. Angel season 1 to 5. Buffy 1 to 7. You got to do something because clearly there's just a hurdle here. You can't really just continue naturally the story. There's simply no way to do that. There's no way. And I've been cooking in my brain a lot of ideas how to do it. But I'll be honest, it's more the other characters because bringing back Buffy is really difficult. So you're going to have to just do something radical to be like, well, where were you? Where have you been? Apparently, and I mean, a lot of people hated the potential story, season 7. I'll be honest, I think it was really bizarre. It's very bizarre. So, yeah, I just don't see that story continuing. They're going to have to really radically revise it, which Angel did. Angel kind of tried to fix a few problems, but yeah, if you were wanting the potential story to really continue, clearly, like, nobody seems to want to do it. I'm not saying do that. I'm just saying that's the canon. So the potentials pretty much are gone. It just doesn't seem like that's going to be a serious part of the story. So I guess the way to do it is that group of potentials who are activated are still activated, but it doesn't go further than that. That's still a lot of Slayers. That's like 30 some Slayers out in the universe, but whatever. It's not like 1,000, it's not like 10,000, which was implied by Buffy season 7. So there we are. And it's been a couple decades. So just looking at the story, yeah, it's weird. We have dozens of Slayers all over the place. Okay. That's just a new universe. And that's the question. Well, what role would Buffy have if we have the other Slayers? They can just take care of the supernatural thing. I don't know. And I guess this is the problem. The script really didn't think that through. It's just like, yeah, just Buffy's back. So any way forward is going to have to be somewhere in the middle. And clearly, like, HULU doesn't care about the story. So it just seems that the way Sarah's saying it is they just didn't see the thing happening. They could care less about the story or the pilot or the scripts. They were just like, yeah, we just want to do it. And it is one man. So I'm sure eventually we're going to find out who that is and be like, why? But I think part of the fandom is very relieved because it's not Joss. I'm not saying Joss has to be part of the new Buffy, but clearly it would be better if Joss had more of a role. And I know part of the Buffy fandom like, no! But we got to have a compromise somewhere because clearly this way forward would have been polarizing. but doing it with no Joss is also polarizing. So yeah, we're gonna have to find some middle solution here where part of the story continues, but clearly a big part of the story is not going to continue, good or bad. Uh, is that frustrating? Yeah, a little bit. But Buffy did the same thing. Like certain story, like right, the Chosen One, they got rid of that with season 7 explicitly. Like there is no Chosen One. There never was apparently. Okay, so there we are. So Buffy has done this. They've done internal retcons, but I guess we'll have to do it all over again. And there we are. But there's still interest in Buffy. Calm down. We're going to get Buffy. It may take a while again, maybe another couple years, but we're going to get it. But will the other new Buffy with Sarah, without her, be better? I don't know, man. I don't know. I mean, having Chloe and Sarah gives you a lot of power, but apparently not enough. So it's going to take a lot to bring Buffy back. It probably will happen, but not this version, good or bad.